Now, on the flooding issue, joining us to discuss this, bordering around the flooding, is the Executive Secretary, Yobe State Emergency Management Agency, SEMA, Dr. Goje Mohammed. Thank you so much, Dr. Goje, for joining us.
Thank you very much, and thank you for having me. Good morning.
Good morning. It's a pleasure. Now, what are the primary factors that are contributing to the increasing frequency and the severity of floods in the northern region, especially at this moment?
Going by the prediction and the reports received by NIMET earlier this year, there are indications that because of climate change issues, the intensity and frequency of rainfall will increase. And this has even led to a lot of stakeholders to engage community and call on people to be alert, especially on red flag areas. And this has to do with the global warming, climate change, and a lot of issues has contributed. Another issue that has contributed also, it has to do with the increased threshold of water across our dams, which has over the years has led to flooding, especially in 2022. But then, despite the early warning released by NIMET and other agencies, the increased rainfall we have seen and also the flooding we have seen has been a bit not higher than what we expected. Because what we expected is in September and October when the dams are overflowing and there will be a lot of flooding across this region. But now the rainfall has also led to a lot of flooding and displacement across the communities. So two factors, the climate change issues, the increase in intensity of rainfall, and other community factors, blockage of waterways, construction of houses along waterways, and so on and so forth.
So, Doctor, we refer a lot to our flood warning systems when it comes to these issues in Nigeria, but how effective is the current flood warning system and is it in place in these regions? What improvements would you recommend to ensure that residents and commuters receive timely alerts for evacuation?
I think NIMET and other agencies do send their flood reports early, alerts early, but then there are challenges in compliance. Most of the challenges we have is compliance. People have a lot of cultural and some religious and issues that has to do with their locations of origin. When you ask them to relocate, when you ask them to go to upperland areas, there's some reluctance. So I think going into the future, there should be compliance issues. There should be legislation. Government and security personnel should ensure that when there is an alert, people are made possible to relocate. Because the consequences and the impact that will come after denying to relocate or move to a safer place is worse than when you agree at the early stage. You can see people that up initio are supposed to leave the place, will have saved their lives and their properties, but now they are in flood and we are trying to see how we can respond and to support them. So compliance is the major challenge in terms of the result. The prediction is coming on time, and we receive prediction, we alert the public, but there is reluctance in compliance, and people have that mindset that, no, it doesn't happen last year, so why will it happen this year?
Right. Now, what role would you say that poor urban planning, deforestation, inadequate drainage systems play in exacerbating flood risks, and what long-term solutions can there be to address these issues?
I think the long-term solutions, one is to you look at the scenario in 2022 and compare with this year and ensure that government has put in place measures that will ensure 3-4 months to the season where waterways are being cleared and the clearing of waterways has been institutionalized with the relevant MDS. 2, planting of more trees and encouraging people that build houses or sell lands along waterways are being discouraged. And most of all, look at the trend of the present year, where not only bridges, a complete third road is being washed away by water. So look at the scenario. Is it that the water channel has been disrupted? And look at measures on how to repair and rectify all these issues. But then it has to be a bottom-up approach. Bring community leaders on board, religious leaders, community stakeholders, let them own the process, so that even if government institutionalizes it, if this community, the victims that will be affected at the end of the day are not part of it and they didn't own the process, at the end of the day, it will still come back and affect them. There are places whereby people don't even know that they are buying the land in the waterways. There are places whereby people don't know that the flood will come and affect them. So the process will be bottom-top approach so that the community will own the process. And when it comes to implementation, nobody will complain that their houses is being demolished or drainage is being constructed because they know it's for their own good.
Right. Thank you so much, Doctor, for sharing your thoughts on this. And of course, we're looking forward to seeing how this situation is managed. Once again, thank you for your input.
Thank you very much. We are currently in the field and we'll keep updating you. Thank you very much.
My pleasure.